Hi, I'm Lisa Neff-Wheeler. I've lived in New Jersey the majority of my life. I've lived in the Hillsborough, Montgomery, New Jersey area for over 30 years. I love living here. The area has maintained its country feel while having the conveniences of a more urban area. I look forward to sharing why I love the area and the local businesses. Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Lisa Neff-Wheeler and I'm here today with Craig Buchman. Craig is the owner of Big Bang Music Center, which is a full-service, end-to-end music store. They have a retail front. They help individuals get more musically adept, and they also rent and repair instruments. So I've been looking forward to this. We actually use Big Bang. My son has rented several instruments from them, and I'm looking forward to learning more about the store as well as Craig. And Craig, thanks for joining me today.
Hi Lisa, how are you doing?
Good.
We always love seeing your face and your children's face, so we could sell you something and give you a laugh, right? If they don't walk out of here with a laugh, it's definitely not Big Bang Music Center, right?
We always walk out with that.
Yeah.
So, start with telling me a little bit about how you got involved in the music industry.
Music industry. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so back in the day, I think it was K-Tel or what was it, Columbia House.
Yeah.
Do you remember they would send you if you do the monthly rental for records or monthly buying for records, you get 12 free right off the bat.
Yes.
And they had those remember that, the little stamps, and you had to rip the stamps, and it could have been Kiss Alive 1 or Kiss Alive 2, you had to stick them down. So we said, Mom, could we get some music in our lives? And we were young, man. I think it was like maybe 6, 7 years old. Mm-hmm. And what I did was, I always want to be cool. I always want to be louder. So I'm like looking, well, what do I know about music? I was like, well, definitely this band. Wow, that's who? Gene Simmons. Like, why do these people have face paint and tongue sticking out? So I'm like, yep, that's a definite. Then one of my favorite albums, Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf, and Jim Steinman. And I'm like, you see this motorcycle and this guy or girl like laying back on the motorcycle. I'm like, that's cool. I want that. So basically, I was picking records on the coolness of the album. So that's how it started. So I remember me and my sister listening to Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell. Mm-hmm. And right when I heard the song Bat Out of Hell kick in and the motorcycles revving and the guitar solo in the beginning and Meatloaf's voice, I was sold. Something about always wanting to grow my hair long. It's just part of the movement. It wasn't like because I was a musician I wanted my hair long. It's just that whole cool movement, what was going on. You got to remember, Woodstock was only in 69. I was born in 70, right? Just music was all around you. And it was a happier time when we were younger. Yep. Even though negative, but people lived their life, So I love old 80s music. But yes, I did grow up in a time of the hair band music. And yes, I did have big hair. I didn't want my hair to be big, but management would say, girls, you got to make his hair big. And so I'll go out and play hair bands. And I toured in all these basements and all these clubs selling tickets in the hair bands. Let's keep the band together. We're going to make it famous. Well, Motley Crue did. But anyway, so that's the story of being in the music business. So music was always part of me. I mean, I always played drums. I always listened to music.
How did you transition? Because, you were a drummer, you were on the road. Talk a little bit about what brought you to
Big Bang Music Center?
Big Bang Music Center and,
This is a good one.
Okay.
This is a good one. This is a good one. So, Big Bang Music Center. There's actually a really cool story behind this. That was one of those guys, I was working in a medical company for 20 years, and I'm this job because my mom says, honey, you need health insurance. You got to have a plan. But unfortunately, I didn't make enough money to move out on my own.
So back to Big Bang.
Yeah.
How did you start?
Sorry about that. You could cut all that out. I'm just trying to figure it out myself. The music business. I want to be a rock star. actually, it wasn't even about the money. I want to play in front of millions of people.
Uh-huh.
I want to have attention playing my drums. It wasn't about the money or anything like that. I wanted to feel that crowd. That's what it's about. And that's what we do with Big Bang. So how did I start Big Bang? Okay. So I was playing with a lot of bands at the time. And like I said, I was living at home with my mom because I wasn't making enough money at my day job. I thought like, hey man, I'm going to hit it big with a band and that's it. Here you go, Mom. I'm going to buy $1 million house to pay off, right?
Right.
Cool. It just, the job wasn't going good. They were making a lot of changes. There was just a lot of things that they were doing that I didn't. And little Tommy, who I grew up with, goes, dude, the guy at this place was called Universal Music Center.
Uh-huh.
The dude at Universal Music Center selling the place.
Oh, wow.
I got beat right in the face because I'm going nowhere right now.
Uh-huh.
And I don't mean going nowhere doing bad things. I mean no job.
Right.
Do I go to college? What do I do? No, I want to be a rocker. What do I do? He goes, yeah, man, he's selling it. You know, he's been trying to sell it. Nobody wants to buy it. Well, just to let you all know, there was a Mammal Music Center. So I started working there when I was young. I would teach on a Thursday night and Saturdays.
Uh-huh.
So the townspeople loved me as a drum teacher. And I knew it was time where my mom would always say to me, Craig, why don't you open up your own store? Why are you teaching for other people?
Yeah.
And this gets good now. I was dating a girl in Hillsborough in the early 98, 2000. And I would always drive past this store, and the old owner had these neon lights in the front. And again, well, I don't care what the store has in it. I don't care if the piano's tuned or not, but I really dig those neon lights. So I had dreams. Now, this is really cool. I had dreams that I was going to own this place someday.
Really?
And you're talking 98, 99, and I bought this in 2007.
Wow.
So I would actually have dreams.
You learned, right?
Oh, I learned very quick. So I'll tell you what saved me, okay? I called the gentleman who owned the place on the phone, and he basically almost hung up on me, and I called him back. He goes, listen, people want it. I'm telling you right now, he was like, I'm closing it down in the next month, so if you want it, you got to get it together. I'm like, what do I do? Okay, so people were saying they want it and they didn't. He was just, that's it. He's shutting down.
Yeah.
I says, what do I do? Again, I thank my mom. I thank my dad. I want to thank my sister and my brother-in-law. My sister was like, well, the first thing you got to do is get a business ID. You got to do this. You got to do that. It actually went pretty smooth by help with my family, but I didn't know what I was getting involved in. So the teachers were grandfathered in at the time under the contract we sold. And basically, when I came in, I did a lot of switching around over the years. It didn't look nothing like this. You know, it was an old 70s doctor office that I had to make look somewhat cool.
Right.
But yeah, again, it was the dream of me owning this place. If the guy who owned Manville Music Center didn't believe in me as a drum teacher, that's what my love of teaching and helping so many students out, young students back then, old students, I would have never thought to open up my own place. So when I opened it up, the first thing I did was I was very nice to the community. And they were walking in here looking at me going, wow, this guy's nice. Why is he so nice? But by being who I was as a people person, it turned the place around very quickly. And we got, you know, I was up to full max, almost 240 students, 230 students.
That's a lot.
I learned to order. I mean, I had to learn to do a lot on my own. And again, me always being like, whatever. The people who worked for me at the time were like, do you realize what you have done? Like, okay, what have I done? Like, you know, you turn this business around, and you know, you got the public loving you. You got everybody wanting to bring their kids to. So I was on a waiting list for drum lessons very quickly, which I had to hire another drum teacher. So, but I'll tell you what, it almost killed me too. It was right after one of the floods. I forget which one it was in 2007. I sank my truck in the Manville waters.
Oh, wow.
I was here 7 days a week, and I didn't even have time to go buy a new vehicle. I wasn't even eating. There's my dad bringing the food in. Mom sending me the food. Even though I moved out now, you know, the food's still coming. Hey, Mom, you want to come clean my house too, you know? But, so, yeah, I was saying, so that's when I felt my dreams died. because I couldn't go record my music. I couldn't go play my drums anymore. So what do I do? Do I go back to another medical company? Do I go get a biology degree because I did biology? What do I do? I dreamt of this place. Mm-hmm. So it told me I have to open it up.
Yep.
That just doesn't happen overnight. And it helped me out. I mean, I can't complain. I work with kids. I work with adults. And watching these adults walk out of here with smiles on their faces, some of them are retired, some of them aren't. Mm-hmm. But to let their dreams come true and do the drums, I'm there to help them. I'm not there to say, okay, this is a quarter note, this is an 8 note.
Right.
I want them to play drums right away. Same with young kids. You got to get them on the drums. They got to play the drums.
Yep.
We learn the theory as we go. And that's pretty much what I did. But my dreams almost died at the time because I just couldn't do it all. Now I have Amy. She manages for me and helps me out. But still, though, I am the responsible party for this place. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would love to tour again. But my mom always says to me, and the townspeople say, these children need you. These adults need you. You're a local rock star now. And one thing I want to say about Big Bang Music Center is we don't give up on you and you don't give up on us. We're going to do everything we can to keep you staying here. You know, even if you don't practice, we have kids now who are lazy, don't want to practice. It's our chore to have patience with you in that music room and keep you coming here. And a lot of parents will even say, anyway, there are music teachers out there at Big Bang. You're wasting your money and your time. Your kid's not practicing is wasting my time. That's giving up.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. And a lot of teachers will still say that. You know what I mean? And that's, no, if you have a kid getting off his couch, eating Doritos all day long, playing video games, and he wants to come here,
let
awesome. Him come.
Believe me, that's awesome.
That's what we do.
I have a 13-year-old. That's
awesome. What we do. We helped out kids who had psychological problems. I'm not saying my teachers get involved with that. I know I do. I know some parents told me my children were in bad times at that time, and we don't want to get involved in what was going on with my daughter at that time. Certain things, but she never quit Big Bang Music Center. And all the things she was doing at that time, she should have quit Big Bang Music Center. But she didn't. She kept coming. Then I heard from other parents of, my child's very depressed. He doesn't want to see his own family, but he can't wait for his weekly drum lessons. Here's another cute story. You see that underneath the little... The Beatles was one of our kids who made that for us.
That's cool.
Underneath, you see the Big Bang with the picks?
Yep.
Okay, and again, I'm not mentioning any names, so I don't... there was this girl, when she left Big Bang, she was graduating and she was going to college. She wrote us a note. And I remember my worker at the time, she had tears in her eyes. She goes, I think you need to read this. And I read it. And she says, what does Big Bang music do for me? She goes, not only do I love my weekly music lessons with the guitar teacher, one night I came home and I knew my parents were out, but the lights were on in the house. As I approached the house and I walked in, I automatically knew there was an intruder robbing our house.
Oh, wow.
She clammed up. She couldn't think. She couldn't think to dial 911. She didn't even go to the police station. She ended up in Big Bang parking lot. And she goes, the first safe place that I thought of was Big Bang, and then we called the cops from there. So this girl wrote a whole paragraph, a whole letter about how Big Bang changed her life, and her safe zone was Big Bang.
See, that's wonderful.
I put a kid into Juilliard. I was working with him with the old, when I worked in Manville, and then I taught him privately. He was young and loved Neil Peart from Rush, so I taught him Rush, I taught him everything. And after that, I taught him for way over 10 years. Then he started doing jazz lessons in New York City. And then, I'll never forget it, I think it was the first drummer ever in Hillsborough High School to make it into Juilliard. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
You know, and I mean, hearing these things. So a lot of people left this place and became music teachers. Or, you know, one time I was sitting in a bar having a beer, and a kid came up to me, and I go, oh my God. I'm like, you're too young to be in this bar. He goes, Craig, I'm 25 years old now. Started making me old. I taught generations and generations of kids. I'm like, little Joshy? No, I'm big Joshy now. And he said to me, you don't realize what you have done to the people in this town. You don't realize how many kids came out of your place that are still recording. He goes, I go on tour all the time. But to me, it's just like, okay, so I'm not here to like, oh, wow, that's awesome stories. You know, when I hear a story, it makes me feel good. But again, this is why people say Big Bang is a hidden gem. We still have people coming in here from town going, we never knew this place existed.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known unless my kids played music.
We're not this huge place because, believe me, I could just manage this small place. You know, we have enough equipment for people to come in. You know, again, like you said, we do rentals, repairs, books, music lessons. We buy and sell you stuff. But what people like is the customer service they get. They leave big chains because they don't want to be bothered with that.
Yep.
Capacitor, whatever I have.
What do your customers love most about you?
My hair. Amy, my worker who takes care of everybody.
She does.
Shout out to Amy. Amy's one of the best things. Yeah, Amy is just unbelievable. The customers just love that we give them time. Our customers love that we don't give up on them. And I also want to say, too, I got a great staff of music teachers. One of my guitar teachers, 50, him and I, right when we got back from COVID, you know, people are afraid to come out of the woodwork. Don't be afraid. We're here. We're doing in-store lessons. If you want us to wear a mask when we do the in-store lessons, we will do that. We have a lot of online lessons. But don't be afraid to start your music. I mean, one of my guitar teachers are here. He's already up to 50 students already.
Wow.
He's another one. He never loses a student. I never lose a student. Does that make me the greatest drum teacher in the world? No, there's no such thing. Everybody needs to be treated as an individual. You can't just, here's your lessons and I'm going to teach you or teach you the same way.
Right.
You have to get into the head of that individual. Do they lose patience easy? Do they have OCD? Do they have ADHD? That's what Big Bang does. We tailor each lesson. And again, we'll start kids off at 4 years old and they stay with us until they graduate high school. I've been invited to bar mitzvahs. I've been invited to weddings. So then again, I do feel like the local rock star because these kids and their families accept me into their lives. You're part of our family now, you know, but I could just keep sitting here and saying how much great things families say, how we changed their lives or their kids' lives. Like a lot of kids too, some families say they can't even reach their children.
Yeah.
But me as that big kid, I'll be 80 years old and still have the mentality of an 18-year-old, you know.
That's important.
But we do a lot of great things for the community. And I know there's a lot of teaching facilities out there, and I wish all these teaching facilities great. We know who's teaching your child. There's kids who go to other facilities and they quit. Maybe it's because they're teaching too old school. And believe me, I'm saying any facility in this world. We all work together. We want every facility to, you know, as much music students, as much music teachers as we can. I'm just speaking for myself. There are teachers out there that just, you know, this is the way it is. This is the way it has to go. We're in a whole new world now.
Yeah.
You still want to teach the old art of drumming.
Yeah.
You know, I still do the mauler and the rubber pad, but our approach, you know, we're you know, you want to come in like, okay, you never learned guitar before, but you want to shred Eddie Van Halen. Yes, we're going to work towards that.
Yeah.
You know, but you just got to keep up with the times. You still got to think of what started music, but we tailor the music to each individual. Each class is tailored, and we love what we do. And me as the owner, and having Amy as a great manager, I have to make decisions, quick decisions. I have to, you know, do certain things that are that have to be right for my teachers and for the parents and clients coming in. And it's not just for children. We got a lot of adults, 65, 70. Music should be part of people's lives. You're never too old or never too young to start music.
Yep.
Wow.
Craig, thank you so much for your time today. It's been great to learn about you, Big Bang, and your journey. I really appreciate you sharing your stories. It's been very entertaining and enjoyable. And for our audience, thanks for watching. If you have a business and would like to be featured, please don't hesitate to contact me today at 732-267-1204. And again, I'm Lisa Neff-Wheeler, Realtor with Keller Williams Cornerstone Realty. Take care. See you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
I got to say one thing about Lisa. She was very, very awesome to do an interview with.
Oh, thank you.
You just have that smile and that comfortable. So she made me feel very comfortable about telling my story. And I'm so glad that I did get to tell my story. And in closing, I do want to say something. I'm not dead yet, and I need some wood to knock on. Anyway, my dream still could come true.
It could.
You know, I'm here all the time. But I am getting involved in my music. I am going to be writing again with some people. I'm just, again, the music industry. So I jump around so much, but I did want to mention that I'm making my dreams come true by doing small little things with my band, Scream to This, which is my cover band. I think on your questionnaire, you want to know what I'm doing for fun.
Yes, I do.
Music. And that's what I do. So I have a cover band where we still do the Ozzy, we do the Motley Crue, you know, and people love it because we still stay true to what we believe in, and that's rock and roll heavy metal. But I do want to say too that Big Bang, we're not just metal and rock. We teach jazz. One of my guitar teachers, he put a lot of kids into school. A lot of kids went to college for music. He helped them with their jazz. As you said before, I have kids playing in the marching band.
Yep.
I have kids playing in, the middle school band. A lot of my kids get into the jazz band when they play the drums. And when they bring in their phone and the moms bring in their phone to see how much they grew, it means a lot to me. So yeah, we teach all styles of music.
Cool. Thank you.